Hey, NO-EXP here, back with a review of episodes 5 and 6 of Dispatch. Here we are, the penultimate episodes, and like any good story, we're hit with some shock and awe moments, some sad and glad moments. The appropriately named 5th episode, Team Building, is where the team really comes together. All the kinks are starting to be worked out, and a flow between Robert and the Z-Team is evident. Also this episode, you get a moment with your lady of choice. Blazer asks you out on a future date in which you get a choice of which side of her you want to go out with. The blonde Blazer or Mandy.
Would that be a date with blonde Blazer or Mandy?
Oh, I don't know. Which would you prefer?
Invisigal also playfully proposes a date with subtle undertones of something more physical.
You got me Sour Patch Kids on our first date. I figure whiskey makes sense for the second. Third date, you can buy me dinner. Nothing too filling though, just in case.
After the shift, Robert and the team go for a drink to relax after a hard day of dispatching, which to no one's surprise ends in a brawl. But from the chaos, it opens up a path for the team to get closer and share an important moment. If you choose to, that is. This episode also shows a flashback to an encounter Robert had with a member of the team from his Mecha Man days. Your dispatching duty sees some changes this episode. Sometimes a mission will inflict a penalty of immediate failure if the skills of your heroes exceed a certain threshold for that mission. The penalty appears as a mark in the shape of a red diamond with an X in the middle. It's placed on a radar chart over a specific skill at a specific level, so you can still use a hero with those skills, it just can't reach or exceed the mark.
Something about this feels off. I think we missed something.
On the inverse, there are also bonus XP marks. It works the same way as the penalty. Reach or exceed the threshold and you'll net some extra experience points.
I love a symmetrical stage picture.
I should have mentioned this in the previous review, but Blonde Blazer also offers additional hero training. Send a hero to work with her and you'll unlock one of 2 special abilities. Some powers can be used constantly like Prison's Perfect Copy ability, and some, like Golem's Found Himself ability, can only be used once per shift. The hacking minigame has also seen a change. There are now switches that need to be powered on to connect paths to codes and the goal. You activate them by moving your avatar to the lightning symbol on the map and following the prompt on screen. You'll then get an energy charge in exchange. After that, just make your way to the bulb symbol and follow the prompt there to use the energy to activate the switch. Some switches require more than one source of energy to unlock. You'll still have to worry about antiviruses too, but the upside is you can use the energy collected to wipe them out, but it only works one at a time, so be prepared to book it to the next charge if you have a couple of those suckers on your tail. Episode 6, Moving Parts, is a very dramatic episode, and depending on your choices, has a nice team moment, but it also has a determined outcome, so be prepared for that. After a very dramatic but head-scratching opening, nothing much really happens on shift. After work is where things start to pick up. The team, including Blazer and Chase, throw a housewarming party for Robert. It's a really nice scene, showing that as much of an impact Robert has had on the team, the SDN family have also added some much needed life and warmth into his world. The episode ends on a cliffhanger, so we'll have to see how things are resolved. I do have to note, I did encounter a bug. One of Invisigal's powers, ear to the ground, an ability you get through training with Blazer, causes the game to get stuck. These missions do not complete and any heroes assigned to those missions can't be used. You also couldn't skip these missions, meaning you can't progress, so it effectively soft-locked you. You'd have to go back to a previous episode and pick a different power. However, as of the 7th of November 2025, a hotfix has been implemented to resolve this issue. I would say overall, episodes 5 and 6 are the weakest so far. The dialogue and animation quality is still fantastic. There are just a few things story-wise that I feel are a bit of a letdown. I'm glad the team has come together as a cohesive unit, but it just feels too neat. There could stand to be a little more friction, especially considering the events of episode 3 where you have to cut a member of the team. It's addressed slightly in episode 4, but you don't get the sense it was a real loss to the team, Even the people who were on good terms with them don't seem to bring it up with you. Even a quick one-on-one conversation or acknowledgement of their absence would make it feel like they mattered. Maybe they'll be back in episodes 7 and 8. I've said this before, but you don't really get to form any deeper connections with anyone on the team aside from Vizzy, on a one-on-one basis, that is. The team moments are great, but getting to know the characters a little more would add some much needed depth. So far, they're just quirky weirdos with superpowers. Don't get me wrong, I love the team, I just want to know more about them. Like, who made Gollum? How does Malevola feel about being half demon? Coupe's life as a former assassin? There is so much there on the table to explore, it just feels like a bit of a waste. Now, the deluxe edition does cover some of the connections between some characters, and they are a nice read, but I just feel those moments are secondary, and we could do with more in-game moments. I'm also disappointed with the lack of content on Shroud and his operation. From the way the story was set up, it would appear he's the main antagonist. Considering everything that happened in the first episode, I would have thought your dispatches would have had you up against his organization more. Considering he's clearly supplying the villains with upgrades and increasing their powers. I would think this would add mounting pressure on heroes now the villains have increased firepower. I thought he'd be more of a looming threat over the story, but he's hardly been mentioned. But maybe that's all being saved for the final 2 episodes. Well, we'll have to see how things play out, but I feel like Ad Hoc have a lot of ground to cover in these last 2 episodes.
Got any more great advice?
Well, thank you so much for watching this review, and you can also check out episodes 1 and 2 and episodes 3 and 4 also on the channel. Alright then, I'll see you in the next one.